to start with. Timo Boll, he's been there for such a long time, knocking on the door of success. He is at number 3. He's the one that the Chinese fear. He's been in China, of course, we know, for many years on and off. He's so respected there as well. But he will have great supporters here in Moscow. Ma Long is the real deal. He's the consummate athlete. He's number 1 in the world. Well, what do you say? Does Timo have a chance?
I think he has a small chance. This is not his favorite matchup. Ma Long has the upper hand in meetings head-to-head here. I think he lost only 1 time out of 5 or something like that against Timo. And you can see also Li Guoliang throwing Ma Long in right away because I believe Germany won the draw and chose AB, and that means that Ma Long is starting for China. He's also finishing, so if it should go to 5 matches, but we will see what happens. Timo played well yesterday, though. He was sharp, and he cleaned off the 2 Korean veteran players with 6-0 in games. So
he was absolutely dynamic and focused, and he was the Timo Boll that we've been used to of old. Of course, he's had his injury problems over the years. Back in 2004, he was struggling, and of course, with the pace of the game now, fitness is absolutely vital. You can't have a niggling injury and expect to play at the top level. Boll is, well, he's Boll, isn't he? His expectations will be for perfection. Nothing less will do.
Yeah, it would have been really an unbelievable sensation if China would lose both team finals. But obviously, Timo hasn't started really confident here, but you know, he needs to really play strong, and I feel that is a tough feeling for a top player to have. You know, normally you're on the winning side. Here he's facing a tough matchup, and
I think it's worth mentioning before I forget it. I've just been reminded of it. Just looked at a couple of notes here. But the next time this tournament is held, it's in Düsseldorf, which is basically, I think, is it Düsseldorf? I think it is.
Close to Düsseldorf, but it's Dortmund, Westfalenhalle.
Right. But it will be a home event for Timo.
Yes, and the German team are you know, they're good in the team concept. They build the team concept. They put it high on the scale of importance, and for sure they're looking at 2 years from now and really maintaining and developing their players.
Can I tell you, if you're thinking about coming to that, wherever you are in the world, it's the most wonderful city. It's a beautiful city. I think they call it the Paris of Germany.
And the Westfalenhalle, I love that venue, and I was there. I did my first big event as a coach, actually, back in 1989, which was a fantastic World Championships, and Sweden beat China for the first time, and but that's 2 years from now.
It is, and we're concentrating right here, right now. Ma Long in the lead at 5-4. Timo Boll has fought back well here, though. He's got the service, 4-5. A few of the girls getting pretty excited. There's a couple of very, very good-looking boys out at the table.
And with Ma Long, his power is the frightening part of his game. He has so much power. You really have to be so much quality thinking that goes into your ability to return his service, so he cannot attack on those obvious points.
5-all in the first. Timo Boll knows that if he makes a statement in the first, it'll put pressure on. Good stuff there. Absolutely super. Now, I managed to discover, I found a little article. Okay, it's a little bit old now, but it's got Richard Krause right in the middle of all the headlines talking about Yokohama, which of course was last year in the prior to the World Championships, but it's very, very interesting read, basically talking about China. And it's, you know, his perspective on why China is so strong. Very, very interesting.
And it is for Timo also crunch time. I mean, he, as you rightly say, he didn't play in Yokohama last year. I thought Olympics for him, he didn't get off on the right footing and was actually playing nervous, I would say, the whole event. Lost to Osangön in singles. Really helped this German team to win the silver medal, but it was under great pressure actually already in the semi-final against Japan. So if you go back then further, you find 2007 in Zagreb wasn't really great also. So
Klaus's perspective was to say, essentially, yes, of course, there is some talent there, but it's all brought to the top by an unbelievable arrangement for coaches. He says the coaching in China is exceptional.
Yes, it is, and you see it's such a tower of power if you look on all aspects of Chinese table tennis. You, as a coach, you feel that you feel their system, you feel their ability to throw different players at you. But once again, you know, it comes down in a team match like this to an individual match. And I like what I see from Timo now. He's in this game, and we said many times in game one, look at game one only.
He has come up with some surprises. 2 net cords there. Klaus lifts his head back in disappointment, and it's no wonder because that was a huge point. It could have been 9-6. Ouch. Ooh.
It's an unbelievable save by Malong, actually. Yeah. He got that really over and hit the net and scored the point.
7-8. Well, that's 8-all now, and I think Timo was a little bit caught by surprise. He tried to take this ball early, but it came with such power. Ouch.
Yeah. Came really in a strong angle as well, so he was ready for that one. He could see the direction. He couldn't judge the power and the spin, so.
That is the mark of a real winner, isn't it? When you can come back 3 points in a row like that. Absolutely superb.
And that's his power, and he really had to watch out for that direction though, because you can see he saw it all the way and just walked around, and he's so dynamic in his footwork around that backhand corner and you know, throwing himself in with his forehand.
8-9, and that's now 10-8. Do you know, I can't believe what I've just read. I'm looking down at the odd sort of note here and there, and the nickname of Malong, come on, guess what it is? We've been having fun this week. No. We've been having fun this week, I know. No, it's related to the motif on the shirt that I mentioned earlier. There's a
the little dragon.
No, he's not. He's called the Fat Dragon.
The Fat
Can you believe that? Fei Long, Fat Dragon.
I don't see too many.
Well, no, but obviously, Ma Long, Fei Long is something similar, and that is equating to Fat Dragon. If there's anybody not like a Fat Dragon, it's Ma Long, I can tell you. He is one of the most extraordinary athletes ever to play this game. He is in superb shape.
I will call him the bouncing ball, because he has in his footwork is really bouncing around all the time, and it's so dynamic, so quick, and he's getting into position.
Even after he's played the ball, that's the extraordinary thing, still bouncing.
A lot of energy though.
Wow. Well, I've got a head-to-head here, which is only from last January, so I couldn't check out, for some reason this morning I couldn't get them, but in the head-to-heads, I think you should realise as Malong takes the first game, 11-9, it was a really really good close battle, that, no doubt at all. Timo was in with a chance. He had the lead at three-quarter stage, and then Malong just dug in and said, okay, let's just put it into fifth gear and take it home right here. He, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times out of, this is now 10th meeting, probably there might be 1 or 2 more, but Ma Long has been successful. 7 out of 9.
Yes, and the style really, doesn't fit 100%. Timo can at times be, he wants to put his forehand topspin slow cross court, almost always in his opening shots, if he's getting the opportunity to attack. And Ma Long is so fast around the corner, so this is really, plays into his advantage. But I thought Timo didn't finish off 100% there in the end. Actually, he had good control of this game, and Ma Long was playing, a little bit hesitating for a while. But so let's see if he can get his flow going.
China to serve.
Ma Long has just edged the first one, 11-9. But I must say, Timo Boll was right there. He was in it. And his flashing forehands, his trademark, were really coming to bear. Here we go, second game. Super, super backhand.
And here's so much centimeters that's depending, but if you look at the service, that is trying to pull that always towards the pocket of Timo Boll, and really wants him to hesitate whether they go in back and forehand. An excellent service, throwing it down the line towards Timo's backhand just to confuse him. So display of quality tactics.
Yeah, it's impressive stuff, isn't it? Ma Long, to me, he's got it all round. He is just an extraordinary player. Oop, oop. Yeah. Just a little bit too much there. But, Timo will not be overawed, that's for sure. I mean, one thing he does have is confidence.
Well, he knows he knows that he's got to step up his game here, and obviously it's tough part for him is if you don't get into a flow. He's what I call a very much a flow player. That means that he needs to score the points well. He needs to get his backhand and forehand involved and scoring points with both, and doesn't like too much, only service and return. And so he has to put that aside now and really focus on
this is absolutely superb, and it's no wonder that Boll and the other team members are excited here, because I think they are really, really hurting from that defeat in the women's, and they certainly will not want to go back without one of the trophies at the very least. It is a great motivator, Fear. Oh, that's poor. Took his eye off the ball a little bit there. Surely it didn't move that much. Was it such a good serve?
Yeah, I mean, now it's changing direction, is through, and for the left-handed player, that's the one you don't like. You don't like to see the fast service down to your backhand side, because it kind of blocks you from a free movement, if I can explain that way. So you got to get stuck with some certain directions, and one is not good quality either. So it's a little bit off there, and
it's not the Timo Boll of yesterday, is it, at the moment? But it's what he's being allowed to play. That's the thing. Well, a little too late, maybe. It's 6-2 in the second. Sorry.
Yeah, you like to see him in this jumping around a little bit, and that's his trademark, So of course he's trying now to get back into this one, and he needs it.
He's just an amazing mover, and when he strikes, in this business we try to find analogies. I don't know, what would you say about him in terms of how quick he moves? It's just extraordinary. Oh no, outrageous. He didn't deserve to get, well, okay, yes, maybe he deserved to get away with it. He didn't get away with it, but that was unbelievable.
Well, good for Timo, that one. He just pull it up short topspin with his forehand, and he needs to be able to really attack with Ma Long service. I think Ma Long is challenging all the time, and And some of those services are out over the edge, and if you step in too early, then you're in trouble, and that's what's happened here in the beginning.
Again, it's rapier-like. 3-8. Of course, he was the former world junior champion in 2004, was Ma Long. You know, this is the area in which you see extraordinary talent coming through.
And he's been given here also for the first time in a team event a lot of responsibility. Has played on 2 singles all the way through, and really is the guy right now. And I like the way he's responded. Normally he's maybe not a high energy player, but he's really showing energy, really showing that he likes to be where he is right now.
He's got the luxury of a lead of 5 points. He requires 2. And Lu Guoliang, who himself had such a wonderful career, unbelievable. It doesn't automatically follow that if you're an expert player, that you become an expert coach. And conversely, you can become a coach if you're a great observer and a dissector and an academic of the game. Let's put it that way.
Couple of points for Timo here, yes. Well, the last point is good for me because I wasn't a fantastic player, but I worked hard as a coach, and you can turn it around that way too as well. You've got to have a great interest for the game. You've got to study it hard and really be able to work with human beings and motivate them.
5-9, and Timo Boll is working well at the moment. It's 6-9. Very, very good fight back here from 2-9 to 6-9. And again, it didn't hit the center of that racket. It made an impression, though, on the ball. It's spun it out of control. 6-9. Oh, wow! 9-7. That was sensational. Absolutely brilliant.
Waking up a little bit late, but he needs it going forward. So he needs to get those kind of rallies and show to all of us that's in the game, and already in timeout here.
Well, that is really, really impressive. I can tell you now, we're in 2010, of course, but the Pro Tour, I think you're going on to some other Pro Tours, but I had the privilege of doing the finals in Macau earlier this year. But it was actually at the end of last year's event. And I've just had a look down through all the Pro Tours from 2009. Ma Long was a winner in the Danish. You know that very well, don't you? He was also a winner in Kuwait. He was also a winner in China, the Pro Tour Harmony China Open. And he was a winner in the Pro Tour English Open as well. Now, that shows a huge, huge spread of very, very good performances. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 victories there. But Timo Boll was also a victor in the Pro Tour Polish. He also had victory in the Qatar Open as well. So on the tour, on the circuit, they have all been, actually there was another one as well, sorry, one more, Qatar, and the German Pro Tour. So 3 against 4 victories in the Pro Tour. Yeah. It's very even, isn't it?
These are two winners, obviously, in the court.
Good stuff, and look at this. 9-8, how to fight.
Yeah, regardless of what happens here, Timo's playing better now for sure, and he's got that work on Ma Long's service, and from the beginning he stepped in too early and got caught on the length of his service, and he needs to really pay attention to really be able to topspin on anything that is too long.
Dynamic, absolutely. When he looked to be in danger of losing momentum, he comes through with a stun. Look at that, unbelievable. It's more than a windmill. Look at that.
That's power. He's one of the more powerful forehand shots, and that makes him, of course, so dangerous. He's so fast. He can move around, use that forehand from his backhand corner. There's no problem at all if you stick it out to his forehand side as well. So
It was an executioner's blow.
It was
that one,
good
wasn't it?
thinking by Timo, but he didn't execute the return as deep as he would like.
It's game ball, but Timo will serve it though. Caught the edge. Timo looks up in the air in exasperation there, but I can tell you, at 11 points to 8, Ma Long took such a lead in that second game that it was going to be a humongous effort for Timo Boll to come back into it. He didn't manage it. It was 11-8. It's 2-0 in the first, and Germany really up against a very big wall of China.
Yeah, if they happen to drop this one, if Timo drops the match, they are in serious trouble also, very much because Ma Ling comes into the court with a 1-0 lead against Dmitry Ovcharov, and that's another tough matchup for the Germans. They're starting off here with two matchups that they really don't like. So I believe for sure that, and Timo knows that. He knows it, that it's required by him to be competitive all the way. And
well, they have had, as you said, a fantastic league experience, and also the academies that are happening in Germany. They love their sport so much. I have, or love their, certainly their table tennis. They are absolutely fanatical about table tennis.
More than 700,000 German table tennis players.
Is that right? Wow, I had no idea. Extraordinary. Well, again, it's
one of them is Timo Boll.
He didn't go to Yokohama, Timo, so big disappointment there. He was very, very evident with his presence in the Olympic Games, and of course, in that environment, there was also doubles. Timo Boll played with Christian Sus, only singles in this matchup. But, he also played Ma Lin and in the gold medal match, and took a game from him. So, you know, we know that he has got enormous skills, and that last time out in Guangzhou, of course, that was 2 years ago, Germany only managed 7th place. So, in a way, you could say this is actually a significant improvement.
It's an improvement. Also, Timo Boll injured at the time, and of course, it's a huge difference for the German team to have Timo in the lineup. So.
They get their bodies into such extraordinary positions. Fitness is one thing, but the ability to stretch and still be in control. I mean, you're talking about a very, very small implement there to strike.
Good one by Timo. I mean, he pushed the ball down, and of course, his counter topspin is one of his trademark, and you see it here. Up, he knew that one was coming. Short clipped the ball back and scored.
That was it looked a little bit of a nothing and embarrassing shot. Just totally mistimed it.
He got a good little bit underspin on that one, and then right on the edge, which can be tough for you're a little bit aware of your hand and your racket arm.
That's better, caught the corner.
And Prowse his hands up because he liked that one. He liked that he needs to get his back and cross involved, so he put in some kind of pressure on Ma Long. So
it was the depth on that caused the problem. Right in the corner, wasn't it? You took corner.
That's it. But it puts pressure on Ma Long if you can pull through with your back and cross much more. He tried down the line a lot in the beginning and didn't really get it going.
It's not been so accurate, but I must say Timo's consistency here is much better in this third game. He's 2 down, but he's fighting hard, fighting for air, and he would love the thought of maybe coming back to the table later.
Who knows? Good one again, got his technique in order, and coordination between back and forehand is another quality that Timo has. If he's getting his flow and his technique is very hard to deal with, because he can play both back and forehand. He can pull the ball back with topspin from both in both techniques.
He's taking a little bit of a breather. Some applause and approval from Klauser, but Timo Boll, well, he knows exactly what is challenging and what he's got to do here. And he's doing a brilliant job in this third game, 7-2. Oh. Unbelievable. Oh, dear. Crikey. You just have to put your hands in the air and say, wow. We've looked, some of the angles there that we caught were really great, weren't they? But wow, how
tough. Lost his balance a little bit, but came back a couple of strong, but couldn't really reach in on that one.
But it was the improvisation of it. That's the extraordinary thing. Power play into the pocket. You see, I've learned.
Well done. Yeah, I tried to do the right thing, and sometimes you have to do that. You can not only play short back, because you really sometimes you need to win those points where you stick the ball out to take a couple of blocks in order to gain confidence from the other players. So well played by Timo. Let's see the next one.
7-5. Fight back, comeback time. It is actually, although I don't say it very often in this sport, I do quite a bit of badminton as well, and that is definitely a sport of momentum. You can get a sequence of points building up. I haven't noticed it to such an extent here, but I'm now beginning to see that with these guys, they get the confidence from one, and they can build on that to pick up 3 and 4.
Exactly, and you got to play with that a little bit as well, because you want to. You know, the long rallies does come with a little bit more of a bucket of confidence to you, and to score the nice points and so on. Yes, but you got to translate into being service and return. It's all about that as well.
Timo Boll misses one. 6-8. The Chinese flag in the background. They've had huge disappointment already today. They want it to fly proudly later on. You never know.
And he wants to talk it over with his coach. So
that's the way it was, wasn't it? It was definitely Timo calling it, not Prauser.
Yes, and they may have that agreement, because sometimes you know, they know each other, and they may have made that agreement. Okay, call it when you feel that you want it. So, which probably is the case for a player like Timo Boll.
Well, it has been an exciting week. It's been a fabulous thrill for me to come to Moscow. The first time I came here was in 1975. In fact, the first time I came to the USSR was in 1961, Khrushchev's time. And I remember the Sputniks had just been up, and these spacemen had just come down, and they were all discussing it on these huge microphones and speakers on every building in Leningrad. And I was absolutely taken aback by this extraordinary country. And now I come back after many years, and I hope to be able to go to the Kremlin again tomorrow, have a look at Red Square and Basilica and so on, and really thoroughly appreciate what has been another great experience.
Got a couple of lucky ones there to come back in this game down, I believe 2-7.
Ma Long will serve at 7-8. Oh, 8-all, my goodness, he could wrap it up here. We thought that Timo Boll was going to put more pressure on. He took that timeout, talked to Richard Prauser, and he hasn't looked close since.
But again, he's misjudging the service leader. He knows so well that he has to produce quality returns, and he went in early here to try to control it. Malong is clever also, clever player. He threw the service a little bit quicker, and there you go, the ball rises, and it's a point for Malong.
Not before time, for Germany's sake. Malong makes an error while it was fought. The backhand goes long. Timo's serve works. He's got another one. Oh, the highest today. That one came down with snow on it.
And I didn't like the service. I thought he was holding back, and he really didn't look confident in the decision making of that service, and tried something down the line, but with really no quality, and you can't do that against a player like Malong. You have to serve extremely well all the time, and now he's in deep trouble, I would say. 2
points required for Malong to get the first point on the board in the matchup. 3 required, of course, in the whole series. Oh, now Timo, he's there, just knocking on the door. Can he open it? Will anybody open it for him?
I think he has to do it himself.
You think he will?
Yeah, and I think he has to work on this service and has a top spin on the service, I can tell you that.
Well, okay, let's equate it then. If Malong misses the point, then he's opened the door. He's keeping it firmly closed. 10-all.
Yeah, that was a not an easy to take backhand, if you can take that analysis.
Superb stuff. Malong is the real deal. He is at the top of the world tree. Do you know, I heard a bit of I could see a little bit of a smile on his face. He's got a lovely, lovely cherubic almost face, but he's liking this. He's really loving the challenge. There he goes. Oh, missed that one though. 11-10, or 10-11 because it's alternate serving now.
But look, fantastic quality, just a top spin on that service. That one there is not very far outside, and there was a little bit of a reaction spin on the ball on the next one, but hey, you don't get too much for free against Malong, I can tell you that.
Third time though, 10-11. It's Timo Boll with the game point. And he's got it, it's 12-10. And Germany's Timo Boll gets a huge round of applause here inside the Olympic Stadium in Moscow, where Germany are facing China and trying to make the second really big upset of the day. It's looking doubtful, but Malong has given up a game. We didn't expect that. Timo Boll is still there.
And a good read on the service, and that's really, really something that he needs to do. On every single of Malong's services, he needs to try to work on it, as we say, and top spin, be active, find directions, and if you can top spin with Timo's quality, low spin points, then it makes it more difficult for Malong just to power it at home, power the points home, and yeah. Okay game by Timo, and 2-1 Malong.
Well, the mayor of Moscow was saying this is the greatest sporting privilege to come here, certainly this year, and maybe for many a year. He has he's put a lot of time and effort and energy, and the organisation here has been very good. Of course, ITTF bring their own team of experts, and I must say, of all the sports that I cover, the greatest amount of support from media is with the ITTF. The great statistics that they produce are fantastic. Everybody knows their job, knows their role, and they get on and do a brilliant job. I'm so impressed with the association.
I hope the ITTF president is listening. In fact, he's sitting here watching the games, but I will pass it on to him.
Well,
I think credit goes out to all the hard-working ITTF staff, and I can see from inside that you know, everybody is working to develop the sport, and a pure interest of developing the sport.
I have no other agenda but to speak the truth, and it's absolutely phenomenal how much support we get from ITTF people. They are a well-tuned engine of support. Let's have a look at this one. 1-1 in the fourth. I'm not sure whether my heart or my voice will actually last out if Germany comes back.
That one was a good one again. He's looking a little bit more confident, especially moving better and getting his backhand involved, as I said, cross court, because that is still the key. He was down around the corner, opening up and then following up with the backhand.
Wow, that was well constructed, wasn't it?
Perfect placement on that backhand opening, and he was also moving his forehand a little bit. You see, right into the pocket, forcing Malong to move away the upper body, and it's always difficult.
1-3. Oh yes, that flick, the lefty's flick, it's so hard.
Moving in with his backhand, and really I like his activity level right now. He's trying, there you go. It's a difficult shot to do, but a great result.
Super stuff. 1-4. Ooh, we're thinking here. It's 2-1 to Malong, but Timo, okay. 4-2. It'll change serve now, but this is interesting. Fascinating time of this match, because if Timo Boll squares it, his confidence will be sky high. But we're talking about games at the absolute highest level here. We're not talking about sort of ordinary regular players. We're talking about the absolute Goliaths of the game. Some magnificent, oh, what a skill that was. Superb backhand.
Yeah, and that's sometimes a player like Timo can, you know, doesn't get his feet organized or his footwork going, and he look a little bit, you know, missing many easy shots. But you can see his game is also very, very difficult, and it means that the flow for him is everything. And he's certainly playing better since
first game. Yeah, he was not. He was definitely a little bit off color. But off colour to Timo Boll is absolutely the top of many people's games. Oh dear, 3-5. He's missed one. Few doubts, few moments of hesitation.
Yeah, but I still like his mentality. Is normally is a little bit of a player that, you know, always comes back, always talks to himself and trying to be positive, but obviously has missed a few here. A little bit out of rhythm, maybe.
Well, the 21-year-old against the what is he now? 29-year-old Timo Boll.
Timo is excellent in pacing his career, really pacing what he's playing and not playing. He's selecting very well, and planning for him is a quality. Plans his season very well.
We love it. Yeah. We love it. The gladiators of the ring. Not so much a ring, more of a rectangle, but I tell you what, that's absolutely stunning. Baying for blood.
Could be a huge one. It was the first rally really that went the distance for a while.
There wasn't much he could do about that, just tried to block it, it didn't come, it went too high on the bat. It's 5-7. And again, you said it's a huge one here, but wow, Malong, he thrives on success.
Yeah, you cannot feed this dragon with too much of joy, and
that's right.
He'll come out with some fire against you.
He can't be the fat dragon, though. Don't give me that. Oh, no.
Oh, we have to change that. I mean, he's a slim dragon.
Yeah, talk to Guo Liang. Oh, he did well to stay in it. Okay, a little bit lucky. Absolutely crucial time of this game. He really did well to stay in that. There was back on his heels. That was the shot. He played it from behind him, you know.
Almost.
Unbelievable.
He got a break there, but he needs that one. He needs to keep the dragon away from him.
Oh, that is good. That's not a German expression. That is a Chinese jaw.
Oh, I think it comes from Japan really from the beginning, but there are different sounds, yes, from different guns. But he played that one well. He returned very well, and he got to start with his forehand and pulled it up, pulled the first one up with slow, and then finished off.
Oh, it's really, really good stuff here, I must say. Huge entertainment. 10-5 is the score. Timo Boll will take it into a rubber game at the 5th game. Unbelievable. He's got it. It's 11-5. We go to a 5th. He lost the first 2. He's fought back. Ma Long, well, surprisingly, is just a little bit bereft of ideas. There are a couple of moments, really big moments there. The luck went with Timo Boll, but he took full advantage of that opportunity.
He did, and you know, if you're Malong, there were some doubts and some hesitations involved there, and I will go back to the team event, the structure of the team event, the pressure that comes into winning single matches in the team, and there's a lot of expectations internally also. You have Wang Hao on the bench, for example, who, as a young player, of course, you feel you get an opportunity here, and you put one acclaimed world champion on the bench, and that can affect you sometimes, and you can lose your comfort level a little bit. And I think for sure that comes into play. It is his first team tournament, the big team final, and
yeah, it is. It's a tough scenario here. There is pressure on, and although you might have the best all-round game, the best fitness, is he warming the racket there? Isn't that lovely? Lovely little moments of intimacy by our camera player, our cameraman.
Wow, he's just cleaning it off a little bit to have the rubber and the perfect friction of the rubber.
The showdown is in the 5th. I've got his name. He's called the Dexterous Dragon. Well, no. Okay, you can write in and tell us maybe what you think should be Ma Long's name.
A service error.
Oh no, lucky bye. No! Big smiles amongst the Chinese crowd here in Moscow. You can tell.
Oh, it was both a net and an edge. He did fantastic to save it, but it wasn't enough.
Gee, 2 centimeters away. 2 love. Smaller margins than that will probably decide this match, though. Oh, yes. No. It was side, definitely side. Yeah, the crowd might complain, but that was a side ball. Watch the side of the table here. It strikes the grey, not the white. Here it comes. Perfect position, great camera work. Here it goes, grey. Beautiful. 2-1. You get very excited.
Small margins, but I thought also it was clearly on the side.
Yeah. The benefit of replay. He's come out with that toll again, isn't he? It's really, really motivating him.
Sure, he feels he has this chance here now, and sometimes you get a feeling that you're into the game. It's a 50-50, you know, and he has the experience from many important matches, and he knows how to read his opponent.
2-all, 2-all. And I'm not repeating myself.
Well, if you ask me, I didn't like that one really. He should have pulled through that forehand. That was right in his kitchen.
Right in his kitchen. Okay. I must come up to more seals, is it? There won't be many people on the planet who'll know where more seals is. 3-all.
Maybe Timo, just that service there, maybe not really the best quality, so he needs to retool his service a little bit and continue to be active with his racket and not holding back.
It's quite extraordinary. I've mentioned it before about the disappointment of finals day. It happens time and time again. But what have we had? We've had an extraordinary women's encounter, 3-1 to Singapore. We start out the men's, and look at this, 2-all, 3-all. How good is this? Timo Boll, well, he's obviously had a word with Feng Tianwei. She came back from 2 down and edged it in the end to 3-2 in the first. That gave her team a real big lift. Timo Boll could do the same here. Because I tell you what, Ovtcharov, he can be a little bit inconsistent, but you wouldn't put it past him raising and rising to the challenge.
Nope. Next matchup is Ovtcharov Malin, and if you face Malin in a situation of strength, or if you're down in the team match, it's a huge difference, obviously. And Dima is a young player, and if Timo can give him a 1-0 lead here, it's a huge advantage for Germany.
4-all, 2-all. Missed it. It's 5-4.
Still, I go back to the service, though. He has problem now keeping his service short, and that's really not what you would like to see as a coach, though, because you then have to play well to win the rallies, and it's all about the small attention to details.
I can't remember. Have we had timeouts yet? Yes, of course, we had the German timeout. Yeah, so Marlon has still got one up his sleeve.
No, there's a T behind, yeah.
Oh, is it?
While we were sleeping.
Yeah, of course. We weren't sleeping. I've done anything but sleep the whole time.
I was joking.
Sorry, yeah, I can see the scoreboard now, yeah. Sure.
Let 5-4.
Try that side under a little bit on the reverse side, so let's see what he's following through with now.
Gosh, everyone can hear us. We can hear a pin drop. Ooh, big point. Big point. I don't know whether you're interested in such things, and I certainly am not, but I did actually look at the television just before breakfast today and saw that Germany had won the Eurovision Song Contest last night. It was, I mean, I didn't like the song, but I love the confidence that the girl displays. Says, oh my God, we have won. Can't believe it. She'll be shouting and screaming tonight if Germany do that this time as well. Extraordinary, look at this.
Malong hesitating a little bit. He lost a little bit of his rhythm here. You know, doesn't get the balls to start with that he likes, and Timo is now with his racket higher in position and reacting on that fast ball towards his backhand side, fast service towards his backhand side.
Guo Liang was part.
That was close. We would have liked to have that one instead of 8-4, now 7-5.
Sorry, I was just
This could be one of the points that they will go back and discuss at dinner tonight. But let's hope that he can put up some good services on the table now.
Right, Germany 7-5, fifth game, all to play for. Big moment in both their lives, I would think, this one. Although they could both be back to the table later on.
I can see the nerves from both sides now. They know it's important, and even though they're absolutely top players in the world, this is a sensitive sport where you feel the tension in your wrist and your underarm, and clearly this is the case.
7-6, Timo Boll serving, and he's missed it. It's 8-6-8. Gosh.
Okay. Yeah, I got that service a little bit better, a little bit side under instead of side over, and it stayed just a little bit up over the table surface, and although Malone was there with the racket, it wasn't enough.
Two big services here for Malone. He has got, having had a 2-love advantage, pegged back to 2-all. It would do untold damage to his confidence if he loses this. He hasn't lost it yet, of course. I was just mentioning earlier, Boll was part of the team table tennis championship winning squad in Tianjin in '95, Manchester in '97, of course, and they won again, actually the silver in Kuala Lumpur in 2000. He's got gold medals all over the place. Atlanta, of course, the singles he won in '96. So Boll has been there at the highest level, but I tell you what, he would swap for one or two of those to get through here.
Good brush by Timo there. He got in to the ball quickly, and he worked his racket right there. Perfect. And it's only words I would say as to start off this team final with a pretty big upset. Although they're close in ranking, it's still a very, very tough matchup for him.
Well, he's got the service, he's got the lead. He needs 2 points to put Germany on the road in this final. It's there for 10-7. My goodness me, that was brave. That was really, really brave.
Yeah, and it felt comfortable when the ball got him. There you have the service again. Again, a little bit too long, but he saved that one pretty good. And yeah.
It's fantastic. That wonderful camera angle we picked up, especially when they go back off the table a little bit. It's really interesting because you can see the perspective. They are a long way back from the table and still finding the opposite end. Here it is, match point. Germany, Timo Boll, 10-7. Good block. He's got it! 11 points to 7. Timo Boll has come back from the dead. He was 2-love down, and that is an extraordinary performance. Timo Boll, the favourite around many parts of the world, has found another territory here in Russia, in Moscow, to win his friends. He may come back to the table in a while, but one thing is absolutely certain. China will have been knocked backwards. That was a fantastic comeback and a great win.
And he came back from deep trouble, I can tell you that. He didn't have his game in order in the beginning. Starting to come back in the second game from, I believe, also a huge deficit in the score, and got his game working a little bit, although he lost the second game as well. He got up there and got a good feeling. And Timo is such a feel-good player, you know, when he feels good about his game, is